Val, you got any thoughts about Disney moving up this purchase of Hulu? Well, I can't imagine why they might want to be doing that so quickly. Could you? Could you fathom any kind of reason?
Well, as I mentioned, a lot of this has to do with the stock price. I mean, they need the reason the stock price is being pressured downward so much as it is right now is because of the uncertainty around Hulu. Disney needs to get this off their plate. And I did a video on it a few days ago talking about how, look, Disney has a history. If you go back and look at when the Fox acquisition deal was reached, when did they purchase Lucasfilm? When did they purchase Marvel? It's always right around the end of the fiscal year or the very beginning of the next. When does Disney's fiscal year end? September 30th, 20 days from now, 20 days from today. When did they set the timetable up for Hulu? September 30th. Not an accident.
Wait a minute. I'm looking here. Valiant, I know this is deep level investigation here, but oh my gosh, it looks like Disney is basically offering Disney Plus for free for the next 20 days.
20 days?
What? Why would they do such a thing? Why?
I just don't know. Surely it's not to get more eyes on Ahsoka that nobody seems to be watching.
We'll see. Apparently, episode 4 did not go over as well as they had hoped. I don't know what that means. Disney's internal numbers look very different from the Samba TV numbers.
Right.
We're all waiting on Nielsen.
They seem to be putting a lot of their effort into episode 5. And even last week, if you guys were watching us last week when we had Josh here from Den of Nerds, he was guiding towards what he had been hearing about episode 5, that was going to kind of break things open.
It's the make or break, too.
And he and I agreed on this point that, and he's watching the show. Obviously, he covers this a lot. And I said that, my issue is with so much mediocre Star Wars, you can't wait till the 5th episode. You can't do a slow burn for 4 or 5 episodes before you actually get to something good. People have already checked out before the first episode aired. You're desperately trying to get audiences in the door for episode 1. It didn't really work. Who's going to still be around to even care about episode 5? I don't know. I can't wait to see what they do, or somebody's going to tell me about it. Fine, let's see what happens. I am reserving judgment, but I have low expectations. Let's just go with that. But in the case of where Disney is now, of course, they want to end this quarter with a bang. They need to end this fiscal year with a bang. They have 20 days to do it. So you put out
everything they've got at it.
Yeah, $1.99 for now to the end of the month. Let's load the box. What that tells me, if they're throwing out, and this isn't Hulu, this is Disney Plus, throwing out $1.99, and I saw that this morning for Disney Plus through the end of the month, tells me that, what happened the last 2 fiscal quarters as we covered that live here on Valiant Renegade with the earnings calls? What did Disney report with the most core of core subscribers?
Well, I think we're at 3 now. I think we're at 3 sequential quarters of losses for North America.
We'll know soon.
Yeah. So
we'll know in November. Yeah, and I think, they're doing this right now. They want to get people signed up. They want to get a lot of people in the door. It's a limited time offer. I think they're only offering it through the end of September, but I think it's a couple of months. It's like maybe 2 or 3 months worth at $1.99 or something.
They're also, if I'm not mistaken, they're also doing this in some international markets. I saw the UK at least also had a huge drop, and so I wonder if they're starting to see some wavering, not only in North America. North America is often the canary in the coal mine, and so when you see weakness there from your largest margin subscribers, it's not good for Disney if that begins to now metastasize out to the other markets. That would be enormously bad for them and for their stock.
Yeah, and it would, and I think that's what they're concerned with. They're doing a fire sale right now, right? They need to get everybody in the house. They don't. The last thing that Bob Iger wants is, after he was reinstalled as CEO, and he will have. Let's see, when was he? November 20th, I think it was. So about 12 days after the earnings call for the end of fiscal year 2022. He will have been installed now by the time this fiscal quarter closes for 10 solid months. we're right back to it being all him. Very little of Chapek's time was actually Chapek, as we'll be covering in just here in a bit.
We suspect that Disney is going to roll Hulu into Disney Plus in December of this year, unless something major were to happen. So that I think this lines up to. We've reported on that in the past. This lines up with what we're hearing now, that they're trying to accelerate this transaction. So I think we're on track for that exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do. And that's what Disney does ultimately want to do, is to have a unified login, because it's not just a matter of putting everything together and getting rid of Hulu. Disney doesn't want to necessarily get rid of the Hulu name, because that's a very strong name in the industry. But what they do understand is that if they can coalesce the operating structure of Hulu and Disney Plus, they would find, and they've already put the numbers out there. I forget how many, but I want to say it was $2, $3, maybe $4 billion worth of synergies by combining them. That's a lot of money. Over the course of a few years that Disney would save, as opposed to having two completely separate, and throw ESPN in there as well. So they have to consolidate this to save on those costs, put everything together. What was one of the things that Spectrum and Charter was asking for? Hey, Disney, you know what? You want to charge us, instead of $9 a month? Now, they didn't say what it was, but let's pretend for a second. Let's say it was $11 a month they wanted to go to. Big increase, 20-some-odd%. One of the things that Charter and Spectrum asked for was, fine, I tell you what, we'll meet you halfway, but you need to give us ESPN Plus and Disney Plus for our subscribers to access, because you're double dipping, Disney. You're taking stuff away from your linear content that we're paying for, our subscribers are paying for, and then putting it on Disney Plus and making those subscribers pay for your stuff here and go pay for it on Disney Plus over there. Bullcrap.
Right. Double dip, and then you're going to snip us out when you move everything over to ESPN Plus.
Exactly. So it's like, no. You give us Disney Plus to give. So it's like, if you want this much money a month, all of our 14 million subscribers have to have access to D Plus and ESPN Plus.
So here's the interesting thing about that. So you might say, well, that does no good to Disney, right? Well, okay, but then also there's the argument that, well, Disney has already been doing that with companies like Verizon, where they've been handing out subscriptions like they're free candy at a Halloween party. So, I can see why Spectrum thought, you know what? Actually, we kind of deserve this too.
Yeah. And
it would have bolstered Disney's subscriber numbers. I don't know how much, but you got to think there's quite a few million people out there subscribed to cable who are not subscribed to Disney Plus. So, I get the argument there. I understand it. But
well, that's just it. I mean, it's the thing is that Spectrum's was just trying to get something out of Disney. Disney just wanted them to pay more, and Spectrum to say, okay. And they said,
Mommy, crime is up 10,000%. Shut up, kid. I'm calling about cable to the governor of New York. Shut up. I ain't got time for your crime. Go to school.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just it. They had to give something, but Disney didn't want to give up anything. Spectrum's drawing a line in the sand. Here's the bottom line. Comcast wants to finish this Hulu deal, get this totally off the shelf, take the $13 billion and walk away. The next time that Disney's contract renewal comes up with Comcast for cable, there's nothing left for Comcast that's holding them back.
Fireworks
They've
time.
got everything that they need. They can tell Disney to go pound sand. And as I mentioned to you guys before, I think privately, was think about, Spectrum signs up with Fubo, which is a streaming cable service, I guess you can call it.
Roku kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's got ESPN in it. You can get ESPN there, just like you can get ESPN through YouTube TV. You can get it through Sling. You can get it through.
Did that defeat New York, by the way? Because New York was saying, hey, until our citizens receive their ESPN, you'll pay refunds. I don't see how they can possibly hurt them now. Because Charter says, oh, we offered it. It's through Fubo now.
Yeah, or Charter Spectrum offered it. They said, you can sign up. We're going to give everybody, our 15 million subscribers, we're going to give everybody, I think it was like a free month of Fubo. So if this negotiation with Disney ends in 30 days, then Spectrum has offered all their customers free access to all the channels they don't have now.
And they can re-up it if it goes longer.
Yeah.
There's no FOMO with Fubo, baby.
No, there's not. And the great thing is, I mean, think about this. Spectrum has if they go down this road where they get out of the TV business and all they do is cellular and they do internet delivery. And right now, their cellular's piggybacked on Verizon. It's not even really Spectrum phones. They piggyback on Verizon. Verizon pays them a fee out of that. Same thing now. They're going to move over. They're going to hook up with Fubo or somebody else out there. Think of if Comcast pulls this trigger. You will have everybody and their grandma busting down Comcast door to get a piece of that action.
Mm-hmm.
You think about this, you got, how many subscribers does Comcast have? Like double what Spectrum has or something like that, something ridiculous.
Comcast is huge.
It's huge.
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but huge.
But
huge.
I mean, you will have Google in there on their hands and knees praying to the Almighty God at Comcast to hook up with us. Send us your people. You'll have Fubo in there. You'll have Sling in there. You'll even have Disney coming back in there with Hulu Plus Live TV. If they don't, they're stupid. Comcast might just shut them out. They might not even entertain the offer. It's like, oh, you didn't want to give us what we wanted for that for Hulu? We're sending all these people over to Google. Disney,
right.
they very well could. It's whoever's going to offer them the biggest deal. And those deals, folks, what they look like is if you go pay for YouTube TV right now, $75 a month or whatever it is after the promotional period, or if you went and did that with Fubo, Fubo's paying a piece of that back to Spectrum in this case. Spectrum's getting a cut of that.
Right.
So all these plans are going to go up in price because of that over time, but it de-risks everything for Spectrum. All we do is collect a commission. We send you customers, you send us a fee. That's it. We're not sitting here negotiating with Disney and Warner Brothers anymore. We're not in the stupid cable TV business. We don't have to worry about customers cord cutting. They're all on a streaming service, and we don't have to fool with it. We just get paid. Ding. Because they still got the 14 million. Yeah, they still got the 14 million cable subscriber, the internet subscribers. So it's perfect for them.
Renegade.